We're gonna start now. Welcome to Scoreboard Shenanigans. I'm your host, Olivia.
And I'm your co-host, Claire. And today we're here to talk about bowling with Sylvia.
Hey, thank you for joining us today, Fraulein. All right, so introducing our first segment, opening frame. Explain bowling and how it works, the scoring wise.
Okay, so bowling is where you, throw your ball down the lane, and there's 10 pins set up in a triangle system, and you get 10 frames. So basically, you get 10 shots, and each time you get scored based on how many pins you knock down. And the scoring is in favor of getting strikes, in that when you get a strike, it not doubles, it counts your score for the next frame.
Right.
So if you got a strike in the first frame and then got a 2 and an 8 in the next one, that would add to 10. So then your first frame would be 20 because it's the first one plus the next 2 shots.
Okay.
So if you get a 9 on all of your frames, that's a 99. If you get a 10 on all of your frames, that's a 300. So strikes are very good. And it's basically just all about trying to get that strike.
How long have you been bowling for school?
I started bowling in 8th grade, actually, on the Varsity team. It's a team where it lets you just come up 7th and 8th grade.
Oh,
So that. I mean, that's 5 years, I think. Yeah, something like that.
Why did you choose to join the bowling team?
Well, it was COVID during 8th grade for me, and Miss Stolt just came into my algebra class, and she was like, "We really need some girls on the bowling team," and me and my friends were sat by each other, and we were like, "We got nothing else better to do, let's do it." So I did it with 2 of my friends.
That's cool.
Yeah.
For bowling, I don't know. Do people come watch you bowl?
Oh, yeah. At matches.
Yeah.
At the matches, they actually get quite full of
Really?
parents. It's with bowling, a lot of the people who do it as a sport do it because their parents are really into it and they've been learning. It's a lot harder than you might think.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
So the really good people are doing it their entire lives. So when we come to the matches, the parents are very invested most of the time because they were also bowlers. So typically you'll have the whole back behind the lanes filled with the parents and family. That's cool. Yeah.
Is it sorry, now you're gonna ask all the questions. What is it challenging to balance sports bowling and schoolwork, or is it easy because it's kind of independent?
I would say it's really easy because it's not every day even. It's only practice 3 days a week and maybe another day if we have a match on a Thursday or Friday. But even the practices are way shorter than my other ones. So cross country we get out 5:30, but bowling we get out 4:40 if you bowl fast.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good. So we practice those? Nice. Okay. How do you get prepared for a match?
They usually give 10 minutes of warm-up time before each match. And that's kind of when I start my whole preparation for it. I don't really think about it too much before. You don't really need to worry about eating the right things or stretching the right way, like you may in other sports. It's pretty much maybe stretch your hands. I don't necessarily have issues, but I know a lot of bowlers may experience wrist pain. So if you are one of those people, they probably have their own set of stretches and stuff. Personally, I don't need much time besides the 10-minute practice.
So do you guys just go to a random bowling one?
Yeah.
Do you have to pay for it?
No, actually, it's nice.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say how does that work? Because I was I just always think about this. I'm do people on the bowling team have to pay every time they go, or is it
I mean, maybe. if we were to go to a tournament, but with the just normal matches against other schools, either the bowling alleys just agree to do it, but I'm not sure they would do that, or Erie County probably pays for it. I don't know.
So whatever section maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Each school has like their home lanes. So Alden obviously has their own lanes, but other schools usually just go to like airport lanes or something. So like 10 schools or something have airport lanes as their home lanes. But
Um, did that question that? Let's move on. Okay, nice. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move on to our next segment, breakpoints. And what would you say are the biggest like team or individual goals like that you guys have for the season or that you have?
goals. So team goals, I think, is one for every team to go to sectionals. Or even just be top of our division. And as an individual, you want a high score. You just want to keep your average up as well. So this is like a main thing with bowling is that we keep track of your averages throughout all your games. And it can be very inconsistent, your scores. So having a nice high score is nice, but it doesn't happen very often. So a big goal for each individual is to keep their average as a whole high.
Okay.
Do you have any like advice that you wish you could like give? No, wait, what? Do you have any advice for younger kids that want to join?
I think if you're worried about maybe not even being good enough, like not even to worry about it and to just try it out because I don't think it's a sport for everyone, but I think it is really fun, even if you're not good.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of people involved with it, so you don't have to be good to even be on the team.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's no tryout, right?
It depends on how many people apply. So this year for the boys, they had tryouts, but that's just because like 15 boys applied or something, and they can only keep like 10. So, but the girls, no tryouts. So
Is there anything you wish you could have told like your younger self before you joined?
I guess just to focus on my throwing style better because I've never like consistently thrown the same way. So it kind of hurts like now when you really need to just have like a ton of hours with the one throwing style to become really good. So because I never like stuck to one, I don't really have a super good amount of skill on any one of them.
All right, we're gonna move on to our last segment. Anchor. Is that a thing in bowling?
I don't know.
Yes, it is.
Yes, you do. I always do shit like digging clear the segment names.
Claire, I used to make the segment names, but now Claire makes them because I just moved on to other stuff. But I was like, anchor? What is an anchor?
It's the person with the highest average
Oh,
goes last.
are you that person?
I was a couple of times on the A and B team. So you have 2 teams of 3 that score for points. So I was the anchor a couple of times on the B team. And it's important to have that because a lot of the times in matches, it can be down to like the last throw on who's going to win.
Right.
And especially if you're the last one bowling, you also have to deal with a certain amount of pressure of like everyone looking at you and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like walking back when you're bowling too, like the guys are.
Oh, it's embarrassing. Like you threw like a gutter ball, and you just walk back like.
Yeah. You don't. Okay. Claire, you can ask a question. So what from like the last couple of years, what is your favorite like match memory that you have? Like team.
My favorite memory is Olivia. dropping
For a minute, I was like,
no, dropping her ball. Or wait, I did this. Okay, guys. My favorite memory is whenever someone drops their ball and something funny happens. Olivia's dropped her ball a couple times, and it like, McConowitz, I think. She's in 9th grade right now, but she's been on the team. She's been on the team since she was 7th grade, so I know her.
I see a face of it though.
Yeah, and she's dropped it a couple times. Really funny. But the one time the favorite is when I dropped it and it rolled into the gutter, but it was rolling so slow that it stopped in the middle of the lane, and we had to call the like head guy who was in charge of the lanes to come down, like go like walk on the side and go retrieve it, and it was really embarrassing, but I thought it was hilarious at the same time.
So, do you have a hype up song for either you or your team or both that you was like to listen to or mash to get a group?
No,
You don't.
not really.
You just sit there in silence.
Yeah. One time we played the jukebox at the bowling alley, and they played Metallica.
So does
That was a practice though. That was just for fun.
Okay.
Clip.
If you were stranded on an island with any of your teammates, who would you pick and why?
I would pick Aurora Trika because she's like one of my best friends, and I also feel like she would do good in a survival situation.
I feel like I agree with that. Yeah, I don't know her well, but I just looking ahead and like feel like
Yeah.
Aurora's got now.
Survival.
She does. She has like the powerful spirit. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I would not.
Yeah, me and Claire Regiment.
Oh God.
All right. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna wrap it up here. Thanks for listening, guys, and thank you
Yeah.
for doing for having me in Morse anytime. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.